Hello everyone out there, this is Pratibha. Here I have been a subscriber for Biotecnika for the last 1 year, for more than even 1 year. Ever since I have been a subscriber for Biotecnika, I had qualified CSIR for 2 times, GATE and also IICAR NET with agricultural microbiology. In my second attempt, in CSIR June 2017 exam, I have qualified JRF with All India rank 55, and with my struggle, Biotecnika has always been a best companion with me. So here I am presenting you out my preparation strategy for CSIR and other such equivalent exams. So let us start up. Before starting up with anything, what problems generally people face? Generally people face, I don't have any syllabus for CSIR, what chapters are actually asked in the exam, what is actually the syllabus? So what chapters to study? Actually, what is the syllabus? For that, what do you need to do? Is just to collect the syllabus from CSIR website available on internet. You can go out there and see the syllabus given there so that you can know what topics you need to cover up. Next, the question comes, where do I study the syllabus from? I don't have any study syllabus and all such things. You have some questions in your mind. Another thing, you feel like okay with the knowledge and okay with the concepts. What next? I have to face real-time problems in the exams. I mean, you have to face questions in the exam. So you need to practice questions. So from where do you practice those questions? You need n number of MCQs to do that. And when you are done with the practices, you have to do it revision strategy. What is actually the revision strategy? How to do a revision? And then in the whole course of your preparation, you always feel like at one or the other time, it is just obvious. It is very obvious. Even with me, I have faced such things that I feel like whether I'll be able to do it, This is general tendency of human. So and now next one comes to how to manage the time in exams when you are done with your revision, when you are done with the syllabus, when you have done lots of question practices. Then it comes the real time problems. I mean, when you go into the examination hall, the biggest struggle comes then. Your biggest fight comes then. That is the only time where you need to perform, right? So that is actually the phase, and you must know how to manage those 3 hours and give your best out of it, right? And during the course of preparation, also in the exam, it's very, very important to keep yourself calm. You know, some of the people become so nervous during the preparation, and especially during the exams or before one day of exam. They feel very nervous. They feel like, oh my god, I have not done this, I have not done that, and I have not studied that chapter. These kinds of things comes into mind, but these things just come to break you down. But you have to make up yourself. You have to be very calm. You have to be very confident. So here are some of the problems that you are facing. First is what chapters do come what are the chapters that come into exam? What is actually the syllabus? Syllabus is so vast, 13 chapters. It actually covers everything. It covers zoology, botany, everything. So you always think syllabus is so vast. Next, you need study material. Then you have to practice those questions. After that, you need to do revision also. And at every point of time, you'll feel demotivated. How to overcome those demotivating thoughts in your mind? And when it comes to exam, How do you manage those things? And at last, at every point, you face such problems like keeping up calm, right? So these are the problems. Now let's move on to how to overcome those problems. So here are the solutions. So actually, how to work on the thing, how to work for CSIR. There are 3 points. That is how to get started. Then when you are started up already, what preparations do you need to do? And when you are done with the preparations, it comes the exam time. So those were the problems. Here are the solutions. So first, when you start up for preparation, when you have already decided to go for CSIR, no? First thing you need to do is to download the syllabus for CSIR from the website. Well, this may be a CSIR exam for you. It may be GATE if you are a GATE aspirant. If you are any other exam aspirant, you first need to download the syllabus. Okay. Then, when you are done with the syllabus, you have to think what kind of questions are asked in exam. What is the level of questions in the exam? So for that, to understand, to make a previous paper analysis, you have to get those previous year's question papers. You can download it, or you can get those questions from even Biotecnika also. They are always there to help you out. From there you can download the question papers and also the solutions, so that with those question papers, you find like these actually the questions asked, these are the questions. So a framework comes into your mind, how to study the chapter, with what perspective you have to move forward, right? So you need to download question papers, and these are the very, very important aspects. You must know the syllabus, you know what kind of questions are gonna ask, and then after you are done with things, you have to analyze. You can do it on your own also, or you can take a help of any guide, any person who can guide you up, any good tutor. If you are asking me, I would suggest Biotecnika is a very good tutor who can guide you the whole way. The next is when you are done with the tutor, with the help of that tutor or with the help of some guide, you can get some study material, right? The syllabus, the concept, the proper, there are lots of books available, like Benjamin Pace, Gardner are for genetics, Gerald Cup for cell biology, okay, and plant physiology, for plant physiology you need Taze and Ziegler book. So actually these are the bulky books out there. So you don't have a lot of time to study those bulky books all around the year, right? So it's not a wise decision. Okay, so you need a very precise study material from where you can study. The important points are covered into that. So the next is to get the study material, and these are the points from where you can start up, right? And when you are done with this first phase, you can move on with your preparation. You have already done all things needed for it. Now it's actually the time to do the preparation. It's time to work hard, right? So for preparation, I would like to tell you that when you are done with the previous papers, so you analyze those questions. Okay, study. Go for it. These types of questions are asked in the exam. Keeping that perspective in mind, keeping that kind of level in mind, you have to start up. Okay, so this is the point for preparation. Okay, the first point, you have to first think what kind of questions are asked in the exam. Okay, so next is your preparation study. This point is very, very important, right? So you have to do your preparation in 3 sections, in 3 levels. Suppose you are studying 9 hours a day. I'm just taking an example. You can, you may be the person, a kind of person who studies for 12 hours, but like in a suppose, just to suppose it, you are preparing for 9 hours a day. Okay, you can divide your study pattern into 3 sections, right? The first section is to study a new chapter every day, right? You study your chapter, you study those concepts. For example, for the first time when you have started, you started with chapter number 1, and that is biomolecules. Okay, molecules and their interactions. The first unit of CSIR. You are studying it, and you have studied it since for 1 week, right? So last week you are studying biomolecules, and the next week what do you need to do is to revise that, right? So week 1 you studied unit 1. In week 2, what will be your preparation strategy? You have to study a new chapter. I mean, if you are then in week 2, in the next week, in week 2, you are preparing unit number 2. So in those, in that time, in those days, what you have to do? In one day, in in 1 week, you have to revise the previous unit also. Remember, if you don't revise, no, it becomes very difficult for you to retain those chapters in your mind. Okay, because you have to cover each and every single point of every single chapter. Okay, so there are lots of points, and to keep those all points in your mind, to retain all those points in your mind, what you need to do is to revise it. Okay, so there comes new chapter study, revision, and also solving the questions. So just studying the chapter is not enough, right? You have to learn how to solve those questions. For example, you have studied different type of proteases, okay, chymotrypsin and trypsinogen, etc. You studied it. Okay, this was actually your new chapter study. You also revised it, but the questions are not asked just like the way what does chymotrypsin do. The questions are asked like, if you are given a sequence of amino acids, at what site does the chymotrypsin or the other enzymes cut? How many fragments do you obtain out of that enzyme cleavage? So how, for understanding that thing, no, you have to make a practice, you have to make a habit of solving those multiple choice questions, and it must be done regularly. Please mind this statement. You have to study every day, and in every day your preparation must be divided into 3 sections, that is new chapter study, previously what you have studied, you have to revise that also, and one more important thing, during that day of your study, you have to solve those MCQs also. Okay, next, the solving MCQ is just a way to how to solve those questions. But here in the next point, I'm telling to make practice test or make the mock test, right? You have a question paper of 145 questions. You decide your limit of time for 3 hours. Just sit and solve those questions. So in this way, you not just get to know how to solve those questions, but you learn how to solve those questions accurately and on time. So this point enables you to improve your accuracy and also your speed. So this is the preparation strategy. Now next, this is the preparation you have done. You have already started up with everything. You have a guide, you have study material, you have syllabus, you have previous year's question paper, you have done all kinds of preparation. Now it comes the time when you have to perform. Okay, your result will show then. So this is a very short duration of time, yeah. It is only 3 hours time. So what you have been doing since so many months, you have to put that everything you have to give output in just 3 hours, right? So it comes with practice, and this practice will help you out in preparation section. Okay, now next come with the exam. So during the course of exam, during those 3 hours, okay, 3 hours of time, what you have to do, you have to manage those 3 hours given to you to solve. You have 3 hours to solve. You have 3 sections to go: section A, okay, section B, and then section C. So that is very unfair to do 3 sections which have different levels of questions, different actually aspects, different kinds of questions they are asking, and you have to think in a very different way for all the 3 sections. Let us assume section number A, section number first, right? It is a mathematical section. It's a quantitative aptitude one. So you have to make a different approach for that section. For section B, you have to make a different approach for that section. Actually, the questions are direct in B section, and in the third section, that is C section, you have a lot big of stories given, and you have to read out those questions. Actually, those questions are very simple questions. It is just that they are very lengthy questions. You don't have to worry about those questions. Oh, I don't understand these questions. No. Actually, C section is very easy. Trust me, C section is very easy. Once you get over your fear for those long questions, you will be able to do it. Okay, so it will be very unfair. I'm repeating it again. It will be very unfair to pay equal amount of time for all the 3 sections. Section A, in section A, you have to do only 15 questions, right? In section B, you have to do only 35 questions. But in section C, you have hell lot of options to do. You have 75 questions. Out of them, you have to do only 25 questions. So you have to think, what kind of questions I need to do, which question I need to do. So you read all those 75 questions, right? So think, if C section is so big and you have to do 25 questions out of it, questions are also lengthy, so it is very obvious that you have to give more time to section C in exam. Okay, so then comes B section. B section is quite easy. So what actually I did in exam, so I started up with section B. Why? Because they are generally easy questions, and they are direct questions. It is like either you know it or you don't. You don't have to think and pay a lot of time on every question. So mind this thing, that for B section, you get acquainted with the exam because you have come to your examination center rushing from where have you been staying. So you are not actually warmed up for exam. So starting the exam, you have to warm your mind. So I usually start with section B, and then doing section B, I get acquainted, I get into the exam. Actually, mentally I get into the exam, not physically. I actually get into the exam. And then I do section A, and then I pay 1.5 hours for this section C. Okay, so I usually understand my mind. I usually grasp up my mind so that I can be very calm in exam and get into the question paper, totally engrossed into the question paper and do it. So remember, don't pay equal time for every section. Pay more time for section C, because section C is very easy. It's lengthy, but it's quite easy one also. So remember, these all things are very, very important. And one more thing, if you are finding a question so difficult, don't stick to it. A question that is taking more than 5 minutes of yours is just a trap for you, right? So get out of that question, leave it, don't pay much more time for that question that you have been solving for last 5 minutes and you are not still able to get the answer. So don't stick to it, move to next question, because you're having lots of options, right? You have other options also. So do it that. Okay, so this are the solutions and these are the strategies what helped me out. Maybe there may be some changes according to you, because every single candidate differs with the type of strategy, right? So this was mine. Okay. Next, there are few short things I need to share up with you, that are simple tricks and tips. So first and foremost thing is, during the course of preparation, don't think I need to do this chapter, this chapter, this chapter. I always have to do every 13 units. No, quantity doesn't matter. This is the qualitative exam. You study one concept, but in a very polished way, right? So quantity is not a matter in this exam. What matters is quality. Okay. Then next, one more important thing is revision. See, I have faced this problem a lot of time. Sometimes I studied the concept, but I didn't revise it. So in the exam, I thought there is a deja vu, that I have learned it something, I have studied it, but I'm not reminding it. What will be the answer? I keep on thinking, I'm recalling the answer. But what is the reason for it? It is the lack of revision actually. So revision is must. Please remember, revision is must. You do it every day. Okay. This is actually the tonic for your study. Next, if there are most of the time, no, we feel very uninterested. We feel like, oh my god, this is a very vast topic. This is a very boring topic. I don't want to study. No. Don't do this. Go to some animations. Go to some PPTs available on the e-portal of Biotecnika or any other else on YouTube and other websites you can see. So you go through the animations. If you don't feel like reading those bulky books, don't worry. Go to see those PPTs, those already made animations. With that animations, you get interested in those topics, and then you start studying that. Okay. And one more important thing is to be enthusiastic yet calm. Okay, so sometimes we are so enthusiastic that we go through the question, just read it very fastly and get the answer. Oh, this is the answer is A. The answer is A. But no, enthusiasm is just not enough. You have to keep yourself calm. Only calm mind can take out the answers of those difficult questions. Okay, so actually you have to keep yourself enthusiastic. Don't demoralize yourself. Keep on boosting yourself. Keep on boosting your spirit, and also keep calm. It's very important for preparation and also for the exam. Okay, you can do every question. There is no question that you can't solve. So other people have also solved it, right? So if anyone can do it, I can also do it. So remember one more thing at last, that nothing is impossible. Okay, if you have dreamt of achieving a good rank in CSIR, if you can dream it, no, so you can do it also. So from my end, this is a very big line, that nothing is impossible. If I can do it, if I can dream it, I can do it also, right? So keep your spirit on, just go for it. Okay, so thank you very much out there. I hope my PPT would help you in some aspects. Next time I can see your name in the good rank students there in CSIR and also in the other exams. So all the very best to all the candidates. Thank you so much.